What's crack, it's VangelinaSkov, and my cat was just here a second ago in frame and she decided to leave just as I was about to start recording and say hi to you guys, so I'm sorry that you missed her. Maybe I'll put in a little clip of her. But anyway, today's video is not actually about my cat. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix film Cuties and people's reactions to it. Now, Cuties is a film that I already covered before it came out on Netflix, and at that time it was already highly controversial because of the plotline and the poster that went along with it. However, now that the film has actually come out, we can see that it is much worse than anybody expected, and a lot of people are much angrier than they were beforehand. Anyway, before we get into that, please subscribe and click the bell button to get notifications when I upload, and if you would like to, you can also check out the membership, so the little join button right beside the subscribe button. Anyway, on to the video. So like I mentioned, I already briefly covered the movie Cuties in another video. If you haven't seen that and you want to check it out, you can, but if you want a quick little refresher, this was a French film which was based around a group of 11-year-old girls who form a dance squad, but they dance in very mature and provocative ways. And when I was covering this, it had been set to come out on Netflix, but now it is already out. Now, from the poster that they had, people were already pretty annoyed because the girls were in very adult-looking poses, and the trailer was a little bit worrying as well. Now, the woman who made this film claims that this is a message about of children and how it has become so normalized today. And this film is apparently supposed to open people's eyes to that. However, a lot of people made the argument that by trying to expose people to this and denormalize it, she's doing the same thing by normalizing young children. And it's also important to point out, I think, that the actors themselves are children. They're not 11-year-olds played by 18-year-olds, they are 11-year-olds played by actual children. And the actress who plays the main character herself is 11 years old. Anyway, a couple of days ago this film came out and a lot of people had a lot to say about it. Now, if you want to get an idea of what this film is actually like, you don't have to go and watch it. There are clips circulating around Twitter, and even just from those clips, it looks really bad. In one particular one of these clips, which I obviously will not show, it shows the girls on stage dancing, doing some kind of performance, and the dancing is very, very adult. To put it bluntly, they are dancing like strippers. No offense to strippers, that is a legitimate and great job if that's what you want to do and you're an adult. Children, on the other hand, should not be dancing like strippers. And I don't think that's a debatable opinion to have. I think that's just a fact. Now, in this scene, they're dressed in basically nothing, just a very short, tight crop top and very tight shorts. And again, doing very provocative dancing, twerking, putting their hands in regions where I don't want to see children put their hands there, especially not for an audience. And although I can't show you a clip from the actual scene, and I wouldn't want to show you a clip from the actual scene, there's one move that they do which is exactly the same as one of the moves from that TikTok WAP dance. So if I can find that, I'm gonna put that in for you. So obviously, this is not how 11-year-old children should be dancing. Now, the argument can be made, of course, this is supposed to point out how normalized it's become for children to act like adults and all of that. But again, the argument has to be made, how is it okay for actual child actors to be doing this? Because they hire adults to play teenagers and kids all the time. So if you wanted to make a point, maybe you could have done it with older actors. And now, since this film came out and people have started watching it, Cancel Netflix has been trending on Twitter. And you may have even seen it if you've been on Twitter yourself. But people are getting rid of their subscriptions and they're just deciding to boycott Netflix entirely. So if you go on Twitter and you check hashtag Cancel Netflix or hashtag Cuties, you'll see a lot of people questioning a lot of things about this. One of the biggest arguments that comes up a lot of the time and time again, is how the parents of these actors allowed them to be a part of this film, and how the production team thought that any of this was okay. And honestly, it is a very weird question how nobody involved with this, not the production team, not Sundance, not the parents of the actors, not anybody at Netflix, who have a giant team, thought that maybe this film was not okay. Personally, in my own opinion, I really don't understand how the parents of these kids said, yeah, that seems like a good acting role for my 11-year-old child. Go ahead and do this dancing. Now, despite the outrage on Twitter, it is also worth noting that a lot of online news outlets have been talking about this film as well, However, many of them have been very positive about it. We have headlines like, "Despite what you may have heard, film Cuties is a thoughtful exploration of adolescent pressures." We also have "Cuties deserves better than it got from Netflix, and from those who condemned it sight unseen." But although some online news outlets are saying that it's okay, the film is good, it's a great exploration of yada yada, most people do not agree with that sentiment, and other news sites have been condemning it as well. Oh, and another article I just came across, "The people freaking out about Cuties should try it." But it is worth noting as well that a lot of people have seen this film and they're basing their opinions on their seeing of the film. Of course, there are people who haven't seen it and have just seen several scenes from it, but I would argue that those scenes alone are enough to show you that the movie is not okay. Now, I think it's pretty clear to you guys where I stand on this. I think this movie is ridiculously gross and I don't think it should have been allowed. If they were going to do something like this, I don't understand why they didn't just get 18-year-old actors. But do let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think this movie shouldn't have come out? Do you think it's okay? I'm assuming most of you are not going to think it's okay, but on the last video I did about this, a couple of people thought it was fine. So do tell me what you think about it. And if you don't feel like talking about this movie because it grosses you out too much, comment down below whether you prefer coffee or tea. I myself am more of a coffee person, as you guys already know. I am obsessed, but I do enjoy a nice cup of tea every now and again. And actually I might have a cup of tea now because I really want a coffee, but I've already had 3, as you can tell, because my speech is getting faster and faster. Anyway guys, that's going to be it from me for now. So as I said at the start of the video, please subscribe and click the bell button to get notifications when I upload, and you can also check out the memberships or the Patreon with the links in the description. And of course, follow me on social media. Like, comment, share, and do all the things that I am supposed to ask you to do at the end of a video, and have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!